So we've kind of hit a dry spell on the channel, so I think the most logical thing to do right now is to do some good old-fashioned clickbait. And I mean, before you click away, it is sort of, I guess, clickbait, but it is, like, relevant to the story. It's what the story's about, so it's, like, good clickbait, I guess. Okay, fuck this intro. Let's start the story. The story time takes place probably about a month ago now is when I was on this trip, and I was on a trip, and me and my group of friends, like my girlfriend, her friends, my friends, we were out at our one friend's cabin by a lake, which I think the last story time was actually about. So, same setting as that one. Go watch that one if you need some context. But in case you didn't watch that one or don't want to, I'll just catch you up to speed. My friend group, which consists of like me and my two best friends and then like my girlfriend and her three friends, that's kind of like the friend group at the moment. And we all went out to her one friend's cabin, her family's cabin. It's by a lake, and we went out and we stayed with her family. We did like boating and like went to the beach by the lake and stuff like that, and it was a really good time. But naturally, as any trips with a friend group will do, we got some pretty good stories out of it, and luckily for me, I have a whole YouTube channel based around that. But there's actually some sort of like backstory before the trip for this story, so let's start with that. So the friend group was like discussing when to go on this trip. Like, I think we were all at my friend's house, my friend Ian. We were at his house and we were like watching a hockey game or something like that, and we were discussing possibly doing this trip. And originally I wasn't supposed to be able to go because the weekend that we chose, or they had chose, was a weekend that like a really big movie was coming out. I think it was Deadpool was coming out, and as some of you may know, I work in a movie theater, and that was going to be a super hard weekend to get off. So I wasn't even originally supposed to go on this trip, but long story short, I ended up getting the weekend off, and I was able to go. So sometime before we left, me and my friend, there's this pool near where my friend lives. I think it's in like a YMCA. But this pool, it has like this surf machine thing where like, there's waves coming at you and you get on a board and it's like a surfing simulator almost, or like a bodyboard simulator. And my friend loves that thing. So he and I went, and we were kind of just like chilling at that place, as we did from time to time. Then I kind of got hit by a realization. So we'd been going to this place for years, and a couple of years back, we were standing in line for this surf machine thing, and we started talking with the guy who was running it. And, he was a pretty nice guy. He started talking to us. We started talking to him. And we just were asking him about his job, like what it's like to run the thing, and he was telling us it was pretty cool. Then he started telling us this story. He told us that he was friends with this girl. I don't know if they were like dating or like had a thing, or if they were just friends, or like what their deal was. I don't remember. But point is, there was this girl that he knew. And he was able to bring this girl in to the pool, like when there was no people there, because he worked there. He had an inn. And she wanted to try this like surf machine thing, so he was going to bring her to do it. But the girl asked, she's like it's like waves and stuff, like, do you think I'll be okay in a two-piece bathing suit, like a bikini, or do you think I'll need a one-piece? And this absolutely diabolical individual told her like, nah, you should be all right in just a two-piece is what he said. So this girl pulls up with him to try this surf machine in a bikini, which for any of you who have done that or have seen that happen is not a good idea. So naturally she tries to use it and loses like literally all of her bathing suit. So you're probably asking yourself, Rainey, why the fuck are you recording like Storyception right now? Why are you telling a story within the story? What does this have to do with anything? And what it has to do with anything is it actually segues us into the story that, the video is titled after. Because I remembered being told this story while we were sitting at this pool before going on this trip. And then I realized on this trip we're going to be doing kneeboarding and tubing and all this stuff on the water, which is going to be making giant waves when we're going with 4 girls. Now, don't get me wrong, I like naked girls as much as the next guy, but I think it was only fair that I warned the women we were going with about this potential hazard, considering this wasn't like a frequent activity for any of them. And I wasn't even trying to be that guy and be like, you have to wear like a one-piece bathing suit, like you can't wear a bikini. It wasn't even in that way. I just next time I saw the whole group, I just kind of brought it up. I was like, hey, you guys, just letting you know, in case you didn't think about it, you might want to pack a one piece or a really secure bathing suit just for tubing and stuff, just so it stays on. And for the most part they agreed. They're yeah, that's actually a good idea. Don't really want to be losing my swimsuit, which is fair. So all of them pretty much agreed. The only one that I really got some pushback from is my girlfriend's best friend, who we're going to call her Samantha in this video. And, like, it wasn't really a hostile pushback. It was just Samantha saying, like, I don't know. Like, I think my swimsuit that I have, like, it's a two-piece, but I think it's pretty secure. I think it'll be okay. I think you're being a little overcautious here. I think I'll be fine. And, I mean, obviously, it wasn't my decision what they decided to wear. So, you know, I just kind of said, like, fair enough. You do you. It's up to you. It's your decision. I just thought it'd be nice to let you guys know in case you didn't know already. And, you know, there was no bad blood. She's like, yeah, I appreciate it, but I think I'll be all right and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Glad to hear it. So fast forward to the trip. We get there. We drive literally all night. We get there in the middle of the night. We sleep. And then the next day we go out. We go to the beach on the boat and we start boarding. I think it's important to note the swimsuit that Samantha thought was going to be super secure was a very small swimsuit. Like, it was very, very small is how I'm going to say it. It was like, it was quite revealing. It was not very covering, and it didn't look secure either. But again, just an observation, not judging anyone for wearing anything like that. That's up to you. That's perfectly fine. But it was just like, it didn't look like it was going to stay on. I think she could tell that I was thinking that, because she's like, don't worry, like, I'm not worried about it. It'll be fine. Last thing I want to do is flash one of you three, referring to me and my friends, which she didn't do, but she did do something else. We go out kneeboarding, right? We start up the boat and we go kneeboarding. I went first. I was terrible at it. I kind of got a little bit better at it later. But for those of you who don't know what kneeboarding is, it's when, like, you're on this board being, like, towed by a boat. You start on your stomach, but you try and get up on your knees. And you, like, hold this cable or, like, this, like, rope that's attaching you to the boat, and it kind of just, like, pulls you, and it's really fun. But a lot of the time when you wipe out hard. So when the time came for Samantha's turn, I got to give her credit. She did pretty good, but when she wiped out, it was a pretty hard wipeout. So after she wipes out, we turn the boat around, we go find her and get her back on the boat. I think it's important to note, but none of me or my friends were, like, paying attention or even looking in the direction at this point, not even on purpose. We were just doing something else. What happened next is Samantha did not flash one of the three of us, but she took off her life jacket and her swimsuit was displaced, is how we're going to put that. And instead of flashing one of the three of us, she flashed our friend's dad, you know, the one whose cabin we were at. So she quickly covers herself up, and she and our friend's dad and the rest of the girls, they start, like, dying laughing, but, you know, like, the awkward laugh. Like, it's funny, so you laugh, but it's, like, super awkward. On the inside, you're thinking, like, oh, God. Like, that's the kind of laugh it was. And because everyone's laughing, like, me and my friends turn around, and we're like, what's going on? Then my girlfriend tells me what happened, and I'm like, damn, that's fun. That's a little awkward. So, yeah, she got her wish. She didn't do what she didn't want to do, but she did something that made the rest of the day a lot more awkward than it had to be. So yeah, guys, this is one of those times where I was actually right. A lot of the time I give people really stupid advice, and they shouldn't listen to me. But this time, I was actually right. But yeah, guys, that pretty much wraps up the story time. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. You all know the drill at this point. At least I hope you do. Thank you for sticking with this channel if you've been here for a while. And if you're new, thank you so much for stopping by. And we'd love to have you around. Thank you all so much for watching. I haven't done this intro enough, so I'm really bad at it now. So I will catch you all in the next one. Later.